All right. Hello and welcome everyone to this series of Business Accelerator. This is series number 15. So I keep conducting these series as and when there is a topic that arises, or sometimes when you are um, some random conversation with friends or with class participants and all, and something that they're going through or dealing with at times. And if there's an energy to it, I just pick up that topic and I go about it and I create these series. Sometimes it's created maybe once in 2 months, and this time it's been like this is the third series in this month, like November end and now. So yeah, how does it get any better than that? So today we'll be talking about bullying and what how much do we actually stop ourselves the moment we perceive others bullying us, and especially that energy of bullying. It can be really, really very nasty, very weird, and it doesn't really create anything for anyone. So Swami and Rashi, one of you, if you can let me know if anyone has a question, because I can see only part of the screen and I'm not really liking that. But so just let me know. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we get started, does any one of you have any questions or anything that you've been dealing with regards to bullying? Anywhere where you find yourself stopping yourself, and anything that's been bothering you, or anywhere where you feel really, really stuck? You can just unmute and speak right now. Let me and I will talk to you, all of you, later on. I mean, I'm just right now gathering all the questions, and then the whole call will depend on that. So if any one of you have anything that you're dealing with, anyone wants to unmute and speak?
Uh, Hi, Zahabia here.
Hi,
Uh,
Sahabia.
I keep going through this phases of financial difficulties. Sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's very tough. So I keep going through this ups and downs in my finances. That's the only thing that is really bothering me.
Cool,
So
cool. Are you looking to outclear that?
yes.
All right, cool. We will discuss a little bit about that too. And
Okay,
anyone else?
thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, go ahead. Shamshad, so good to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So the thing is, whenever things get a little difficult for me, like there is a bullying energy, I choose exit.
Okay.
That's the only way I have dealt with this. Like, I don't stand up for myself. I don't use killer energy. I don't use any tools. I just choose exit. So that came up when, I'm really grateful that Rashi invited me to this call, and I was actually looking for a return ticket back home rather than putting up with whatever it is and being the dominant person that I can be. Thank you so much. This is so awesome, Smriti. At least I got
Thank you.
present to it that I choose
Yes.
exit.
Yes. And let me tell you, you're not the only one who chooses exist. There are a lot of us who do that, and I can't even begin to tell you the number of times I've done that. But choosing exit doesn't really create anything. It's just letting the bully win, and that's not going to be fun. It's so I'll talk more about it. Yeah, I'll just take on other questions also. Yes, Vanna, go ahead.
So for me, actually, both Javia's and Shamshad things resonates. I also have these tremendous ups and downs with my finances. And when it comes to bullying, bullying has been the youngest. I have always felt bullied all my life by my siblings and actually my mother. And that energy is still there. It's like a loop playing in my life. And however much I'm aware of it, even when I'm faced with the issue, I'm not able to be the killing energy. I become the bad guy because I speak up, and it becomes back chatting, and it becomes all wrongness of me. So it's just easier to exit rather than stand up for myself, because when I stand up for myself, I become the rude one, the uncaring one, that I become wrong.
So when you're talking about bullying, like what kind of bullying? If you'd like to elaborate a little bit.
So as the youngest, I was always ordered around to do everything in the house. Like, when guests came, serve the things, open the door. It was like I never had an option. Like if my brother wanted water, he would order me to go and get water for him. And if I would say no, my mother would say, "Bada bhai hai," you know.
Yeah, yeah.
This was like 4 years between me and my brother and my sister. So even now they want me to play the junior role every time. Like if we are all together in my mother's house, if the doorbell rings and the maid is not there, they'll look at me, to get up and open the door. And it's like very passive, but it's also
All
become,
right.
yeah.
I get the thing. So before we move to Rashi's question, sometimes you need to see what are your points of view about yourself, where how you tend to view yourself is how others will view you. Okay, so if you are not thinking really highly about yourself, then it's very so basically if you are constantly judging yourself, I will not say thinking highly, I'm just saying if you're constantly judging yourself for whatever little things, that judgment stays, right? So then basically what you're doing is you're being a particular energy of judgment with yourself. And what that does is it invites everybody to, it gives everybody else a license to start judging you too. So it's like, raste jate koi bhi thappad marte hue jata hai. Do you get it? It's like because somewhere you are being that energy and we don't even realize that. So we need to look at, okay, what am I being here? What do I have to be and do to outcreate this? What exactly is going on? And what are the points of view about myself, or where am I constantly judging myself that I'm inviting the others to treat me like this, and especially your own family members. So just be a little present with that. And I'm not saying this is what applies to you. I'm just saying in general, this is like a general thing for everyone. Like how we view ourselves is how others view us. And especially there are a lot of times when we are being really, really harsh on ourselves because we don't want to give anybody any kind of trouble. We, from the beginning, from our childhood, we have learned never to impose ourselves on anyone, or never, like we've learned to just fill in the tiniest of cracks, and not sort of impinge on anyone or not impose ourselves on anyone. So basically, just not hurt anyone with our very presence and our being. So if we get to know that somebody is uncomfortable around us, we'll just tend to bend, fold, staple, mutilate ourselves so that the people around us don't feel uncomfortable. And at times that can be very, very, it's not a good, very unkind energy towards self. It's not creating anything, neither for you, neither for anyone else. So just be very present to that. And I'll address and I'll talk a lot more about this. Yes, Rashi,
It's
go ahead.
also a thing of trying to please everybody, and be nice. And we
Yeah.
want to be the nice kid, the good kid, the pleasing kid, always trying to prove that.
And how many of you know that your parents tend to control you by labeling you to be the good child? How much do you like the good girl or the good boy? And so now that they've labeled you, now you have to live up to that image. Because if
I
you
have
do
been
anything,
labeled as a bad girl, and I'm always trying to show that I'm the good girl and I'm the nice person.
cool, and people judge you to just control you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
People will judge you to just keep controlling you. So long back, my mother-in-law was like, what kind of a mom you are? You're not there for your kids and you're not taking care. They've got their exams going on and this and that, and you're busy traveling. And I just turned around and I just said, I know, poor kids, yeah, they've got such a bad mom. And then she didn't know what to do, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm such a bad mom. My poor babies. And she just kept quiet after that. There was nothing else left for her to say. So, people are judging you just to stop you from doing what you're doing, to stop you from living your life, to stop you from creating a dynamic life, because they are just so jealous of what you're being and doing out in the world. So it's never personal. Anytime somebody is judging you, it is always about where they are looking at, wow, this person is really having a lot of fun. And what will it take for me to live this life? And because you will not be willing to choose, they will not be willing to choose that for themselves. So they will do whatever they can to stop you from enjoying your life. So they will constantly keep on creating a barrage of judgments towards you, sending barrage of judgments towards you. And it's not a good feeling. Even if somebody is not telling us directly, there are times when they will just like, they will project, like how we project a movie onto a screen. Similarly, people project their thought processes or their judgments onto you. And because we're also psychically aware, we just start looking at, oh, this person is not very happy about us choosing this, or this person is not very happy about me wearing this outfit, or this person is not very happy about me being given a particular role or a particular position in the office or whatever. So what you'll do, you'll keep messing up things, and you'll play into their hands where they are constantly trying to pull you down, and then you allow yourself to be pulled down. Why? Because you don't like feeling uncomfortable, and you'd rather let them have their way, because then that way you sort of manage to get them off your back. But what is that going to create? Yes, Shamshad, you will get the recording. I'll be putting it on my YouTube channel. So this is the 15th series. There are 14 more that you can actually listen to. And yeah. So yes, Rashi, go ahead. And I'll come back to you again, Vandana.
Okay, it's not for me. Again, I have a friend today. She's going to ask a question. Come.
Hi, I'm Varsha.
Hi, Varsha.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you, Smith.
Nice to meet you too.
It's not exactly about external bullying. It's more about what's going on inside my head, in a way, in terms of business and money. So, while I've chosen a specific career path, I feel like it's not serving me anymore. So to choose another one, it's getting a bit harder, because I tend to kind of maybe in a way bully myself into thinking I'm not good at this, I don't know what else to do. I just know I've just been doing this one thing all my life. So maybe how to kind of jump careers in a way, or how to choose a passion per se. So where do you think I can start?
Start by start asking yourself questions. Okay, what choices can I make today that my future self will thank me for? So literally, like, keep on repeating this question. You're not looking for any answer, nothing. The answers will start showing up in the form of awareness. There are pathways that start opening up. You will just know this is what I need. Basically, there are just a lot of hints that you'll start getting. There are different awarenesses that you'll start getting that will show you, okay, this is the path that is for me. And secondly, always start with living a choice for 3 days. The first 3 days, live that choice that you're looking to choose. Like, live having that choice. And basically, suppose you're looking at shifting to a different city for a new job prospect or whatever, or starting your own business here in this city. So so for the first 3 days, look at living at a different city with that new job, and how it is, like, eat, breathe, live that for all 3 days. And that doesn't mean you have to go there. It is just energetically be aware. Have that place in constant awareness, and constantly keep thinking, okay, now it's lunchtime. I'll be having lunch with my friends here. There are these places to see in, say, Pune, if you're going there. And, things like that. Live having that choice. And for the next 3 days, live without having that choice. And you'll know by the end of 6 days, you'll have an energetic awareness of what exactly it is that lights up your universe or sort of constricts it for you. Right? When you're literally living that choice for 3 days, you get an energetic awareness. Okay, look, listen, this is not really looking that fun. I don't think, like, thank God it's over. You'll just know. Or you might be enjoying yourself so much so that the next 3 days, when you have to, the 4th, 5th, and 6th days, when you live without that choice, you feel something is missing. So you know what to choose. You'll just really be very present to what exactly will create greater for you. So maybe that's a nice way to get started.
Yeah.
And of course, like when we conduct these classes and all, those have a whole lot of information. If there is something more that you're looking for, if you're looking for a whole lot of other awarenesses, that's the whole classes. There are classes for that, like a business class, or there's a 1-day class, there's a 3-day class. There's lots of stuff that we talk about in those classes. So, cool. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Okay, something you mentioned about money. What was that?
It was connected to both. So obviously career is connected to money. So it's also, how to kind of attract a career or a passion in a way that also gets money. It's not just a passion project. It's like, okay, I might like to do something, but it also has to bring in, prosperity, of course.
Yeah.
So it's making that choice.
So what are the talents and abilities I have that I've not yet acknowledged, that if I were to acknowledge would open up a whole new world of possibilities and numerous revenue streams for me and my business with total ease. And everything that doesn't allow that, times a quadrillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Followed by the clearing statement. Right? So maybe that clearing might help. This is a clearing that you can actually start using very often, because that will make you really present to what exactly it is that's going on in your world, in your universe, and what needs to change. Right? Because what happens is, I don't know, I just end up giving away most of the class, and I want to keep stopping doing that, but I'll just speak about a little bit about this. It's like most of us, when we are really good at something, right? So we think it's not such a big deal. Say, suppose you're really great at making websites or creating flyers and graphics and stuff. And just because it's a hobby, so you think it's no big deal. I can do this in 5 minutes, or within an hour, I'll have the entire website ready, right? But for other people, they'll literally struggle with that. So you need to be present. So just because it comes easily to you, you don't tend to put much value to it, right? And that's when you disregard your own worth and value. And you think, why would anybody bother paying me so much? But then there are a whole lot of people who pay a huge amount just for you to have them design their website for you. So that's what I'm just saying. Okay. Just be present to what is it that's fun for you, and be willing to ask for the price that works for you. Literally, for each one of you, when you choose to really, really value yourself and you know your worth and you start acknowledging that, when you start viewing yourself really differently, things start opening up so dynamically. Others start seeing that about you, and then they're willing to either pay the price that you and your business are demanding, or your product is demanding, or they'll start treating you with the highest of regards. You know why? Because you are choosing to treat you with high regards. So it starts with you. Okay, it's all within you. How people treat you or mistreat you is mostly about how kind or unkind you are being to yourself. How much are you sidelining yourself? Yeah, I've gone through a lot of stuff a lot of times, and I used to wonder, okay, what the hell is going on? And then especially when people are bullying you, what happens, right? It's a weird energy. It's literally like a stop energy. It's not fun. It's like everything comes to a standstill because you're not able to go beyond or think beyond or look for any possibility with that. You just tend to be so immersed with the whole thing and start making it very, very significant that there's a huge stuck energy. And then what happens when there's a stuck energy? It's like you start judging yourself.
I guess our video has frozen. She should be back.
So, Ami, there was the clearing that she gave just now, which was very long.
Yeah, so I could manage to capture the first half of it. What are the talents and abilities that I have not acknowledged? That if I had to acknowledge it, uske baad ka I don't remember. So it was something in that line. So let's see if we can get from. But yeah, you can actually go back to the recording. There will be so many of them.
Okay.
Smriti.
Cool. I have no clue how I got locked out. This is so funny.
Even I got actually locked out, and then I had to rejoin.
I wonder what exactly is going on. So now I can't see who's asking questions. Okay, so Swami, if you can just let me know every time, because there's some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
I just had this question about this last clearing that you mentioned. Like, what are the talents and abilities that I have not acknowledged? That if I were to acknowledge, what was the
would open up a whole new world of possibilities and revenue streams for me and my business and my businesses. So you can, if you've written it, if you can put it in the chat for others also, that will be really nice.
Yeah, I'm just having a CRS moment here.
Cool. Now, what else was I talking about? I just lost my flow of thought. Okay, let me just talk more. Does anyone else have any other question? Otherwise, if you have, you can just unmute and ask.
Smriti, could you address the first question that Sahavia talked about of having financial ups and downs?
Yeah, I will. I'll come to that. So what happens is, okay, let me just address that first. Financial ups and downs is where you are not willing to honor yourself, so you will keep on creating these little issues. So these are the stories that we keep telling ourselves that we cannot create. It can't be that easy, and it's so difficult. It's very easy for others to create, but it's not that easy for us to create. So somewhere you start buying that story about yourself, and when you do not see that as a possibility, then you will keep on creating less money for yourself always. Secondly, every time you have to choose something big, or every time there is something really, really dynamic that's showing up for you, that is really, really calling out to you, also acknowledge that maybe at times those things will create such huge changes in your life that your life will not be same anymore. So that's one of the ways that our being stops ourselves or creates those roadblocks to stop ourselves from choosing that, which will outweigh everything that we have been stuck with. So people will end up creating money problems. They will end up creating issues with their health, or they'll start creating a whole lot of trauma and drama in their relationships, or at home, or even in their office space. So they will create all these things. So whatever's happening is being created by you. So if you are potent enough to create all the trauma and drama and all this lack of money or issues with money, and if you are the one creating it, you also have the power to uncreate it, or to undo that, or to outcreate that. Okay, just know that. But what happens is, when we are in the middle of it, we cannot see beyond, right? So we start feeling really, really stuck. So you literally have to zoom out and take a bird's eye view with it and say, okay, if I was not making this money issue that significant, what are the choices available to me? Also, what happens is, before we choose something, we look at, oh, do I have the money to choose this? And so guess what? You've made money the reason or the justification for why you will or won't choose something, right? So if you are really looking at choosing something, and if money was not the issue, so good question to ask is, if money wasn't the issue, what would I choose? And that's when the choice starts opening up for you. you are able to enable things. Money just shows up. Basically, it's your choice which creates every single time. So the moment you choose something and you are totally committed to that choice, the whole universe starts changing things around to make that happen for you. So there was this one of my class participants who chose Talk to the Entity class with me, and also the intermediate class, Talk to the Entity intermediate. And then she wasn't sure how she was going to pay for it, but she's like, no, I'm choosing this. I don't care where the money will come from, but I'm really, really choosing this. And guess what? She got the exact amount as income tax return, the exact amount that was there meant for the class. And she was like, wow, that was interesting. And she's never before got any income tax returns earlier. But that month, she just happened to get that income tax returns. So sometimes this is how money shows up. And I can't even begin to tell you the amount of examples I have where I've created money like that. And till I decided, okay, universe, this is not fun for me. Can I just have ease with money constantly, all the time? And the moment I chose that, there was ease with money. So we keep thinking others can have ease, but not me or not us. And it's just literally a choice. The day you say, okay, I'm done with this shit, this doesn't work for me anymore, I'm changing it. Universe, show me. What do I have to be and do to change this, to outcreate this? Show me the infinite possibilities is when the whole thing starts changing. But when you make a choice, you have to constantly keep choosing that. A lot of us are like, oh, today I'm choosing to have ease with money, but tomorrow again, I'll start worrying about where to create the money, how is it going to come to me, and so on. And the universe is just responding to the vibration you're being. So if you are being the vibration of worrying about money or not enough money or lack of money or neediness with money, or the fact that you can't choose something because there's not enough money, then you're choosing that. That's the vibration the universe is responding to. And the universe just says, oh, this is what this person likes, right? And then that's what the universe starts giving you or creating for you. So what needs to change here? Yes, okay, right now there might be unease with money. Okay, cool. Right now there might not be enough money, but what do I have to be and do to change this? You have to make that demand and constantly keep asking to outcreate that. What do I have to be and do, universe, to change this? Okay, the demand has to be of you. Then you have to request the universe. What will it take, universe, for me to create and receive this with total ease? And the third is the action required. What do I have to be and do to create and receive money with total ease? So these are the steps that you can start following. And as I mentioned, the choice is something you have to keep on choosing every 10 seconds, every hour, every day, every single day, right? When you're constantly choosing it again and again and again is when the universe starts responding to that choice, okay? I can share a lot of examples, but maybe some other time, not in this call, because there's so much more I want to talk about. And sort of I'm deviating from the topic of bullying here, but we can follow the energy of whatever else is required. Anybody else have any questions? And I hope that answers your question. Who would ask that question? Sorry, Vandana. No. Okay.
Zahabia asked it.
Oh, yeah, Zabia. Yeah.
And I seconded it.
Okay, cool. So again, this thing is messed up. Oh. Yeah. Cool. Does anyone else have any questions? If there are anything written, Swami or Rashi, if you can let me know, because today my computer has just decided to have a mind of its own and it's just sort of misbehaving. So, all right. So let me talk more about what the topic is all about. So what happens is when you were talking about people pleasing, right? A lot of times, most people spend their whole lives waiting for validation prism, right? They're just endlessly trying to gain approval of others constantly without fail, okay? And why is that? It's mostly very often birthed in the dynamics with invalidating parents, who themselves were invalidated. And this disempowering pattern is literally, it just doesn't lead us anywhere. Okay. Now, you know why? Because even if people validate you, it will not be enough for you. You will just go looking for it somewhere else. So, and that won't get you anywhere, because the issue isn't validation. The issue is the mistaken belief that any other human being can actually liberate you from your self-hatred. So, you know, they say if there is a saying that when parents invalidate you, or they scold you, or they shout at you, the child doesn't start hating the parents. The child starts hating himself or herself, right? So somewhere a lot of it stems from that space. Now, I'm not saying it's only parents who are responsible for this, but there can be people around you. It can be your teachers or your mentors, or a whole lot of people, including your friends. So like sometimes you're not accepted in certain groups, or they will just sideline you and they'll make their own groups and they'll push you out. And then you'll wonder like, what just happened here? But that's what it is. So undervalidated people seeking validation from other undervalidated people, that's like an impossible cycle that you're creating. It's like a hopeless waste of energy, which starts getting created and doesn't really create anything great. So the first step is to just please stop seeking the approval of others. Don't you see you've already been approved? Whose permission are you waiting for? And if you're actually looking for permission to start creating your life, you have the permission from this, maybe from this call onwards. Okay. So what else? So also, anytime somebody disempowers you, or is being a particular energy of disempowerment with you, what they're doing is they're actually telling you that you're not allowed to be much more, because you're unwilling to be that. Okay. Now, let me rephrase it. I think I confused it. When somebody is disempowering you, and they're telling you that you're not allowed to be much more, it is because they are unwilling to be that much more. So they'd rather that they stop you from being too much too, right? So somewhere in their eyes, you're being too much of yourself. So that's not really fun for them, because they are not yet ready to be that much. So do you get have I confused you guys? Or I hope I haven't, but in case I have, like, can repeat this. So you can just unmute and ask. Okay. So what happens when somebody is bullying? Bullying occurs when someone has a point of view or judgment that they attempt to sort of project it onto the other person, and the other person buys it. So if you are the person being bullied, where are you buying those points of view that this person has the right to bully you, or that you are a nobody and this one is being too much and maybe you're not enough? They will project things at you. But just know, when somebody is being mean or nasty, or they're bullying you, or they're choosing to disempower you, they are actually scared. They're scared of losing you. They're scared of who you're being in the world, and they're really, really, really scared of your potency. So the only way out that they see is to put you down. Now, when people are putting you down, it's got nothing to do with you. It's got everything to do with where those people are really, really insecure, right? So they will do whatever. So you'll see people would have created groups, and then they'll promote only their groups, because they'll have their own coterie of friends with them who will keep on pumping their ego, and they'll just sideline everybody else. And people who are not busy pumping a particular person's ego is immediately removed from the group. Now you see, and especially if they're being a weird, mean, nasty energy with you and ganging up against you, look how powerful you are. You need to see how many people it takes. to gang up against you and interact with you and to try and pull you down. So there was this, I had this session with Dr. Dane, and somewhere I mentioned, like, I literally feel energetic hyenas all around me. And he's like, so what happens when you perceive those energetic hyenas around you? What do? Do you stop being what you are? Do you stop doing things? And I was like, no, the moment I become aware of those energetic hyenas, I just get so angry, and then I just try and outcreate, and I start choosing so much more for myself. So he's like, wow, that's interesting. So as long as you're not stopping yourself, that's fine. But you also need to be very present to the fact that sometimes, how many times are you creating those energetic hyenas around you to be a particular energy so that you can choose more for yourself? So, and he said, like, if that is fun, continue with it. But if it's not fun, what needs to change here? So everywhere, he just said, like, everywhere you are dependent on, you've been creating all these energetic hyenas so that who are trying their best to pull you down so that you can outcreate and choose so much more for yourself. Will you now destroy and uncreate it all and just continue? Anyways, keep choosing more for yourself. You don't have to create all this unkind energies around you. So when we have people bullying us, it is just a time for you to make you really, really present with what's going on and who are you being at that moment, and how powerful are you being, and how much more you're choosing, and how much you're growing, that all these people have to create false narratives to put you down or to sideline you or to do something to get you out of the way. Okay, so everything that brought up, let's destroy and uncreate that, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, what, all natural boys, poets, and beyonds. Now, please, please, please do not believe the lies of a bully, okay? Because when you start believing those lies, you allow yourself to be bullied. And it doesn't matter how old you are, bullying seems to occur across all ages. And when you choose not to believe their lies, you actually set yourself free. So just keep in mind this. If someone bullies you, for example, you're being judged for being a bad parent or a bad sibling or a bad whatever, guess what? It's more likely that this is the exact judgment that they have of themselves. So people, when they're bullying you and accusing you of something, and it hurts because they're accusing you of something that you know you've not done, and that's the reason it hurts even more. But when people are accusing you of something, it is because they have the exact judgment of that they have of themselves. Okay, they are doing that. People usually accuse you of what they themselves are doing. So just be very present to that. So it will create so much more ease in your world if you become really, really present to what is true for you. Just because somebody is creating a false narrative about you or against you, or busy bullying you, or busy, say, gaslighting you, or is being a total narcissistic energy with you, say, okay, what am I doing? What am I being? Who am I being here? What is it that's allowing people to treat me like this? What do I have to be and do to outcreate this? What needs to change here? And the moment you acknowledge, okay, cool, it's got nothing to do with me, it is their own insecurities that they are projecting onto you, is when you actually become so free. Okay? And sometimes it's not that easy, because when people closest to you are doing that, it can be really, really, it really sets you back. It affects your creations, it affects your very being, because your very being feels very, very invalidated. Okay? So don't buy it, don't react, don't resist, don't align, don't agree. Okay? Let them have their point of view about whatever's going on. And just know all of those points are just interesting point of view. So, and it's not real. All those judgments are just not real. Okay? Now, also what happens is, most bullies and narcissists, so they really, really love empaths, okay? Because they are an easy target, okay? And they love to fix and help people. And most empaths don't really, they love to fix people and they don't really own their full power and their brilliance, okay? So that's why they end up being the easy target. So the moment you start choosing more for yourself, that's the game changer. Yes, Zahabia.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so Smriti, when you said this, that they have their own insecurities, that's why they put it on to you. You know, I have been going through this with my family from childhood. Like something which, like for example, my mom used to always tell me, you're going to be such a bad mother, you're going to be a bad wife. And now when you said it, I'm sometimes feeling, was it her feelings towards her throwing it out on me? Like
Yes.
something which is lacking in them, they are not doing. They make me the soft target for it, saying that, oh, you have this and you don't do this and you don't do that, when it's so not true.
Absolutely. So what needs to change here? The first step is to acknowledge, okay, it's not about me. Okay, that's the first step. And that's actually the game changer. The moment you realize that this is not about me, this is about them dealing with their own insecurities and their own self-judgments, it's a total game changer, because now it's not about you. So whatever they're projecting and portraying to you, it's literally what they're going through themselves. Okay. And yeah. So bring your brilliance and your power to the front and center, and then immediately the situation will start changing. Okay. Just because you're powerful does not mean it needs to create conflict. You don't have to separate from all these people, but be willing to expose the bully. Most of the time, we tend to continue suffering silently because we feel like nobody is going to listen to us, because those guys are, most of the false narratives are so insidious that people start believing that. And just know, when people are bullying you, they will not do it alone. There'll be a whole lot of other people connected to them who will feed the same stories. And that's where you tend to get stuck with things. So, like, basically, there's one leader. Okay. I'll just come to you, Vandana. So basically, there's usually one leader. So focus all your energy on undermining their power, and the others will just drop away. So, yeah. Yes, go ahead, Vandana.
So sometimes, we just suffer things silently because it's too embarrassing to even own it or even say it out loud. And I'm saying this in a public forum. I've never said it before. But when I go to Delhi to my mother's house, she hides the good food in different places in the fridge where I can't reach. And then when my brother and sister come from abroad, it's all produced and put in their rooms. And it's like so crazy. I mean, cashews and all stuff that I buy in Bombay and eat it, so I just find that, and I don't know why I
So
continue.
is she telling you, giving you information about herself and the lack in her universe?
Right.
Right. And now the fact that she needs to please, because maybe she might get something more from your siblings because they live abroad and they must be doing well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
I
never
mean,
about you.
like foreign presence and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Vandana, it's never about you.
Right.
Okay. So, and everything you require to actually outcreate and choose so much greater for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is we start feeling so bad and we start making ourselves less. And the fact that, our own parents don't think that highly about ourselves, so that's like a bigger dampener, right? So you feel, I must be really, really bad that even my parents don't think that highly about me. It's got nothing to do with you. Just know that your parents are being whatever energy, based on whatever's going on in their world. Okay. And I deal with a lot of this sort of a situation with my mother-in-law, and till I was like, what I don't have to depend on her. Like, what else can I create? So I started creating such a bigger life for myself that I've left people who are bullying or being this weird energy so far behind. So anytime people are doing this with you, any one of you, start choosing so much more for yourself that you leave them so far behind that their opinion just doesn't matter. Or they just don't matter. They just don't matter at all. Like, so what needs to change? So what energy, space, and consciousness can each one of you be to choose to outcreate all these bullying energies or the mean, nasty people in your life, to choose so much greater for yourself that no one can stop you ever. But it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a constant choice. You have to choose it every single day. Right? Yes, Shamshad, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's coming up for me when whatever Vandana ji shares, something comes up for me. So I co-own 3 houses in New Bombay, but somehow nothing is mine. That's the space I live from because we are all co-owning and nobody is doing anything about the resources. Are you getting where I'm coming from? There are 3 houses and we are only 3 people living in India. And most of the resources are being underutilized. And nobody is allowing me to take charge of it.
So what space of leadership and ownership can you choose to be? So if you've decided, oh, I don't really have much say here, then that's what others will also perceive and they will also treat you like that. But if you start, and the best thing with properties and lands and houses is that you can overrule and outcreate whatever anybody else thinks. You can connect with the property directly. Long back on one of the calls, I'd mentioned that to you, right? And I don't know if you remember that call. Yeah,
the property wants to come to me. This I remember very well. But you know, somewhere I'm not owning my power. You're very right about that.
Yeah. So you can start communicating to the property and ask it what's required. What do you have to be and do to change this? And yes, if you're not vibrationally compatible with all that you're asking for, you're just pushing things further away. Someday it will show up, but then what's the point of it showing up much later? What's the point when you won't be able to do much with it? Why not right now? So start asking for it. So what energy, space, and consciousness do I and my body have to be vibrationally compatible with all, to invite all that I'm asking for in my life? Right? So, cool. Does anyone else have any questions? I didn't even realize it's already 10:30. And yeah, Panna, go ahead.
The last thing, just in case one wants a property to be sold, we just ask it, what would it take for...
Just ask, what will it take to find a nurturing, caring, contributive buyer for you? Ask the property to find a buyer.
Okay.
Right. Hey, Deepa, welcome to this call. I'm just seeing so many more. All right. What else?
So talking about property, even I have a lot of property matters going on with my family. So I'm connecting, but nothing seems to be moving, you know.
Okay, yeah, but Deepa, this call is not for properties. That's a different call. Yeah, this is call about bullying. So let's talk about that. If anybody's suddenly it feels everybody is out of the bullying energy, and how does it get any better than
this? Can even be bullied by the property, you know, that the property is not ready to move.
It is never the property that's bullying you. It's just your unwillingness to change.
Okay.
What needs to change?
So bullying is when we are bullying others or we are being bullied by others?
Both. So another thing I wanted to address is, you come across certain people who, instead of empowering you, start disempowering you because of how they can start using you. And because they feel, oh, I haven't used this person enough, so they will keep on controlling them. So there is a space of control and disempowerment that a lot of people start being, right? So you guys need to know that nobody ever has a right to disempower you or to control you. And nobody ever has a right to say, okay, if you don't do this, then we'll show you, or whatever. Like, they don't have the right to threaten you. So just be very present to that. Nobody can threaten you. Nobody can do anything to you. And whatever they are accusing or whatever they're saying, they're threatening you with, What if you're willing to lose that? What will happen? Will you die? No. What will change? You'll just something different will show up, right? But we tend to let go of a lot of things and we continue being bullied constantly because we don't want to lose out on something. So just be very present to that. And also, anytime you come across people who are being bullied, throw them a lifeline. How do you do that? By inviting them to see their brilliance, their potency, right? Now, when you're inviting them to see that about themselves, they know that, wow, there's nothing really wrong with me. And then you're inviting them to more choices. So what space of empowerment can you hold for people too? It's not like you don't always have to keep struggling with bullying. Sometimes when you've been bullied so much in your life that you can actually see when others are being bullied and what lifeline can you keep offering to them, right? Start inviting them to see their own brilliance. And that's a game changer. And literally when you're being bullied, like we start going into major judgment about ourselves, okay? Just know there's nothing wrong with you, okay? And you're just very, very different. And then they don't know what to do with your difference, except to just kill it, okay? So never apologize, never explain, never respond to their taunts or demands and questions. Just let them be. You know who you are. You don't have to prove that to anyone. You never, ever, ever have to explain that to anyone, okay? And in case someone really demands that you do, just set them free in whichever way you can, okay? They don't need to be part of your life. You let them go, okay? Because people who know you, who really, truly have your back and who care for you, know you for what you are and will be willing to be there for you. The others are not important enough, right? Anytime you feel you have to bend, fold, staple, and mutilate yourself to just fit in with people, not worth it. So ask for more contributor people to start showing up. Ask for people who really, truly have your back to start showing up. But guess what? To have that, you have to be really, really, really be very vulnerable with yourself and be willing to have your back. Even if the whole world, nobody has your back, you be willing to be there for yourself and have your back. And I'm telling you, that's such a game changer. When everything, the moment you choose that, everybody starts choosing you too. Somebody had a question. Deepa, you had a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, so actually, it was about bullying only. Then I thought that why again talk about it and give it energy. But I'll just tell you in short that recently my husband was bullying me and then I didn't give in. And of course, now this is where I lose because I got triggered and I told him certain things. So he called up my mother.
Yeah.
And the whole drama started. So,
Okay.
I told him that, are you married to me or you're married to my mother? Why have you to call my mother? But he just cannot cope with me. He doesn't know what to do. So his defense thing is he'll call up my mother.
No. So when somebody is doing that, they're just trying to control you.
Yes,
Okay.
I get that.
Yeah. So when somebody is trying to control you to such a large extent, all you have to do is they're also responding to the judgment that they perceive you have about them. So they're really, truly responding to that. What needs to change?
You stop judging him.
You need to lower your barriers, keep pulling energy, and stop judging him. And he will not know what to say or address because there's no judgment in your space. Most people, when they're interacting with you, they are actually literally responding to the judgment that they think you have about them.
Correct.
So you can continue with the whole thing and keep on dragging the issue and allow that to rule your life and ruin your creations, or you say, okay, barriers down. I'm choosing to pull energy from so and so and no judgment in my space. And less than 10 minutes, they're already sorted. And things.
Yeah, but Smriti, my question is that how do I have consistency in not judging him? Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. I'm also myself in a seesaw.
But is you is you judging him creating any change, or is it creating anything greater for both of you?
No.
So what allowance can you step into?
I'm working on that because see, I have to develop that muscle myself. Otherwise, I'm on a seesaw.
Use the tools. Literally
Yes.
use the tools.
Yes.
What allowance can I step into with this?
Exactly.
How much
Yes.
more allowance can I have?
I have. Yes. 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 Thank you.
Cool. Now I'll just take like 30 seconds more. So one more thing that I want to address. There's just so many times that we can be literally be duped and used and abused and discarded and smeared by bullies and narcissists before we begin to start catching on. Okay. Unfortunately, most of us are stupid enough to welcome them back into our lives and give them another bullet for their gun to be shot by them. Right? Now, what needs to change here? So, if you're seeing a chronic pattern of deception, manipulation, and exploitation and abuse for literally for personal gain and a gross lack of empathy or conscience for the harms done due to that this inflated sense of superiority that they tend to function from, what needs to change here? Okay, you just have literally lower your barriers and say, okay, cool, whatever they're being, this has nothing to do with me. What needs to change here? And the moment you start stepping into your owning and claiming and acknowledging your own brilliance, that's sort of a game changer. And that starts changing things around. Okay. So basically, this call and all these things that we discussed, these situations that we discussed are literally an invitation for each one of you to trust yourself so dynamically and to have your back to such an extreme level that no one will ever mess with you again. Okay? So this is also an invitation for you to have such clear boundaries that no one would dare to mess with you. So when you trust you, there is no fuel available for them to light a fire. Okay? So guess what? You've literally taken away the power from them. And everything that doesn't allow you to be so present with that, will you now just try and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, pot, pop, all natural boys, poets, and beyonds. Yes, Deepa, this is the last question, and then we end the call.
So last thing is that, like you're saying, so outside nobody can mess with me. In my family also nobody can mess with me, but this damn person gets away, So
no,
what
you need to see what is it about him that's triggering me? What is the unhealed part of me that needs to be sorted? Okay, if someone has the power to trigger you so dynamically, you need to look within yourself, ask how old am I being, what exactly is going on, and what needs to change.
Okay.
And work on that.
Because I am done everywhere.
And everywhere, yeah. Everywhere it's now like, you guys, every lifetime, you guys are taking turns to kill each other. And whose turn is it now? Be present and destroy and uncreate that.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Kasha, last question. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question, Kasha.
Hey, can I?
Am
Sorry.
I audible now?
Yeah. You're audible now.
Yeah. There was some technical issue. So, I'm going through a financial issue with my business since lockdown, and I'm finding a way out. People keep on telling me to quit, but my awareness shows up that hey, there is something a way out that you can get a breakthrough or you can outgrow it. So I'm energetically I could able to see that, but getting it done is where I have the challenge. And people, whoever I meet up or I speak, they say, hey, why don't you give up, why don't you give up? So
Kasha, what are you energetically aware of with that business. You start communicating with that. And also, everywhere you're looking at giving more power to the naysayers, because, sometimes people just tend to stop you. And they might wish well for you. It's not that they're wishing bad for you, but somewhere they just don't want you to go into more loss or whatever. They're just trying to play safe. So they say, give this up and choose something else. But if there is something about it that's calling out to you, what is it that needs to change? So here's what, when you were asking this question, what I was perceiving is, this is the thing. Let's take, for example, this is something that you're choosing, or this is possible with your business. And here are all the naysayers who are stopping you. So you are going towards this, but then because these guys are so vehemently telling you constantly, it's like a constant din, right? So you start creating situations which favors these people or starts proving these people right. So you keep on pushing this further away from you. So you need to not listen to these people and go with your own awareness, and just literally block those voices of, where they're pulling you back or they're saying it's not possible. What do you know is possible for you to create? Just choose that, right? When you cut off this noise is when you will become really present, because somewhere what's happening is maybe you're not willing to trust yourself that dynamically that you cut off, that you just listen to your awareness. Be a little more present to that and see what changes. Yeah. And then we have these brilliant calls and classes which really have a lot of information. So in case any one of you'd like to choose it, whenever, with whoever, these classes are really brilliant and they have a lot of information and a lot of clearings and stuff. So yeah. So I have some classes coming up. One is a Business Done Different, which starts day after in Mumbai. It's a 3-day class, really potent, loaded with clearings, and it's got an amazing manual. And then there is a business, what is it? Sorry, what is it? Fast Track Your Business. So there's a Fast Track Your Business. It's a business mentorship, which is a call with me every Monday. So it's right now scheduled to start in the evenings, but it'll be, we're going to shift it to morning. So it'll be like a Monday morning or maybe a Wednesday morning booster dose for you before you even start your day. So one call with me every week for the next 6 months. So whether you like it or not, I'm not going to let you guys rest. I'm going to be pushing you off the cliff every single time. Sometimes we tend to perform only when there's somebody there just pushing us, motivating us. So if you need more information, you can connect with Swami or Rashi, and they can help you out with that, because I don't want to make this call about that. But just feel free to connect with Swami and Rashi. Swami for Fast Track and for both. Rashi for both too. Fast Track Your Business as well as Business Done Different. And yeah, how does it get any better?
Can I add something over here for everybody?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've done Business Done Differently, and I really opened up, because earlier I was very shy to even talk about my business. So my business reality changed. And Fast Track, I'm renewing again, because I know how my life has also gone fast track. So guys, if you really want to see the change in your life, then only do it. Otherwise, don't choose. Don't choose.
Thank you, Deepa. Yes, Kasha, sorry, Rashi, just a minute. Kasha, you have another question?
No, thank you.
Okay, your hand was up. Yes, Rashi, go ahead.
So guys, even I've done with Smriti business and money, and not because we guys are the host right now here, but just perceive the people who have showed up for her so-called the taster free calls here. So imagine how much y'all are getting contributed here. If you're really demanding the being of you through the business and the money you guys are looking for. So just tap into that energy. What will contribute if you choose any of these classes? if you didn't make money significant in your reality? You all are all asking for money, but are you all ready to have that?
A lot of people are not willing to choose things because the big thing like money. But literally, believe you me, the moment you choose something, I'm not saying you have to choose classes with me. Whatever it is that you're looking to choose, or you've been stopping yourself from choosing, just start choosing it. Every single thing starts changing. There is so much more that starts opening up, and so much more that you start receiving. Seriously, so much more. There's so much more to life than what you are giving yourself permission to receive and create and be.
And it's more like a demand. I really like what example she had given, that one of the clients did that she's going to choose that course, and through the tax the money came. And we all get it, guys. We all have done some access or the other. And it's not about like, oh, again, this class or that class. You need to all get present what will create more in your world if you're really asking for your creatorship here. It's really okay if none of y'all sit, but we're just giving you that space. What will it create more? And when we demand that space, it creates from there. The class already starts beginning from that space in everyone's world.
Thank you, Shamshad. Thank you. So I leave now. Just remember a few things. Not giving bully the power over you. Trusting yourself so dynamically that nobody ever treats you or mistreats you. And when you're looking at changing something, demand of you, request the universe and the action required, and then just go for it. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for each one of you for being here. And see you soon, sometime soon.
Thank you, Swami, for messaging me. I was busy doing some work and I completely forgot. Swami, I love you. I'm going to hug you when I meet you.
Sure.
Just one question. Pragya's asked something. Smriti, just address that, please. Pragya just wrote something. I'm just opening it. 1 minute. Pragya wrote something on the chat. Her question is, are all these classes for someone who has no business?
Yeah. This is this so all these classes, especially the access classes and stuff with where business is concerned, you're creating your life as your business. So what we'll be discussing in that class is not only your business. And most of the time, it's not that we don't know how to create great business, but most of the time it's what's going on within us, or what are we dealing with, all the fears that we're dealing with, all those monkey mind chatter and things or head tripping that we're dealing with, which is what is stopping us from creating a dynamic business. So if you're looking at really truly creating a life, or any of these classes, business classes are for you. All right. Cool. Yeah, you don't have to own a business.
Can I add something to that, Smriti?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, so I had done, I think, VDD with you thrice now. One in 2020, and then another in 2020, and then late just in this year. And yeah, as you rightly said, it is so much about you, the way you are with you. And for me, I was almost on the verge of, I would not say leaving Access, but leaving my CF license. Yeah, I think, yes. And it was about that class. And I say, it's not just about business. It was everything. I mean, business was included, but it was so much about you, the way you be with yourself, and the trust that you have with you, and what we are actually speaking right now. If you can trust you, then no one can actually mess with you. So it's all about you, and business is a part of it. So yeah, answering that question, people who do not have business, as Smriti mentioned, like, what if life is your main business? And if you are alive, then this class is for you.
It's not just life. What if creating your life is your business? So you get to create how your life will show up, and nobody else gets to decide that. So yeah, it's all about that. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll just leave you with a clearing. Okay. Ask if something you're stuck with anybody with respect to relationships or issues and stuff. Ask, what am I unwilling to be? That if I was willing to be, it would change. Sorry, I forgot the clearing. What am I unwilling to be? That if I was willing to be, it would exponentialize, will open up a whole new world of possibilities for me and my life and my relationships and my business. Everything that is times a godzillion. Let's destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, for online shots, boys, poets, and girls. What am I unwilling to be? That if I was willing to be it, would open up a whole new world of possibilities with my life, my living, and my business, and my money flows with total ease. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. So grateful.
Thank you. Good
Thank-
night.
Bye.